It's not a walkthrough, playthrough, review, anything like that. It's just me playing the game badly so you can see what it looks like. Hello. So, flash storage systems for retro hardware are a thing. You'll be familiar with things like the EverDrive cartridge for assorted different consoles, and things like SD to IEC for the Commodore 64, and the DVMMC type things for the Spectrum. Well, I was shuffling about on eBay fairly recently, and I came across a thing where, say, the SD to IEC emulates the floppy drive on a Commodore 64 and a VIC-20. This thing here emulates the tape drive on the Commodore 64 and VIC-20. It's called a Tapuino. Funky name. As far as I can tell, it's based on Arduino hardware. I mean, I know nothing about these sort of things, really, except that it works. You've got a set of buttons on it that do assorted different things. If we can focus, please focus. There we go. One is like select, one is up and one is down, and one is return, and they go through various different modes. I don't really bother myself with what the modes are. I just select a file, hit play, and away you go, like on a tape drive. And you've got a little screen there, which is funky as well. I will show you that plugged in, but what am I going to plug it into? Because it's advertised as working on a Commodore 64 or a VIC-20, or with an adapter, a C16, and I imagine +4. But what else has an interface that looks like that? Okay, it's plugged in. Let's select a file. Oh, I can't see now. Glasses slipping off my face. Options, record, play. We want play. Record. Oh, no. Which one do I want? Oh, okay, right. You have to tell it which thing to go for first before you start going up and down through them. And that's not. No, that's not. There we go, these are up and down, these two. I know what I'm looking for, honest. Okay, I've selected Cosmic Wars. So anyway, what is this thing plugged into? One of these. Yep, Commodore PET, CBM 8032 to be specific. I have had this thing for about 20 years, and until very recently had never used it. The keyboard conked out. It worked when I got it, and I got this for a tenner on a car boot sale in about 1997. But the keyboard conked out, and for about 18 years that was it. It sat in a wardrobe or a cupboard or whatever and didn't get used, and then sat on a shelf. But anyway, I got some stuff to renovate the keyboard. Some chemicals that you mix together and put onto, I guess they're carbon contacts within the keyboard. Highly toxic stuff, not nice at all, didn't like using it, but it worked. Put it onto all the little contact plungery whatnots, and it worked. And then it was like, okay, I've still got nothing to play on the thing, and that's when I stumbled across the Tapuino doofer. So I thought we'll have some of that. Bought that, downloaded a load of files off Tinterwebs, and let's have a look, see what it does. Okay, then we type load and we hit return, and it tells us to press play on the tape. And at the back it's got a counter that displays on that little screen, but I'm not going to move the camera to show you that now because I've got the camera on a tripod. Here we go, found loading. I find it interesting that you just type load and hit enter rather than load speech marks. I'm just going to alter the brightness a bit on here, because what you're not really seeing is the how green this is. It's very green. I don't know if that's doing the trick. It's proper retro. It's full on green screen, which is, it's lovely. I mean, the ZX81 has been the most retro computer that I've had to tinker with in well, forever. But this is older than that. I think the 8032 is from 1980, but I mean the PET design and hardware and whatnot is a good bit older than that. So yeah, it's going to take a while to load, so we're going to edit now, and then we'll see if I've loaded up the right thing or not. Okay, that took about 5 minutes and it is ready to go. So we type run, and yes, I got the right one. Cosmic Raiders. A moves laser left, D moves laser right. S starts game, up to fire. Where's the up button? There. That's not very awkward at all then. Okay. S. And there it is. Space Invaders on a computer with no graphics to speak of. And it's truly retro, and the collision detection is appalling. It's like you have to hit them right slap bang in the middle of their body, if you like. If you get them, you know, you might hit them, but if you're only hitting their arms or legs or whatever they are, forget it. They're not going to die. But having said that, once you realise how accurate you've got to be, it's not a bad game of Space Invaders. You're not really getting the full-on green effect, which is a shame. I'll see what I can do with that in editing. You might. It might look better than it's looking on my camera screen here. Now, the thing with the 8032 is it is the resolution is higher than your typical PET. It was meant mainly for business and not for playing games. Not that the PET was ever really meant for playing games, but you know, the 8032 is a more serious model, and the higher resolution means that a lot of the games designed for your typical PET don't work on it. And I'll show you in a minute what happens if you load them up as is. You load a 40 character wide game into an 80 character wide display PET like this. Hey, can I put a sentence together? I don't think so. Okay, we'll bang out of that and then I'll show you what I mean. Okay, that's loaded. Let's give this a go. That's not right. No, wait, we've had this before. Tapping any key makes it work. That actually looks alright, but I think when it starts to play it won't be. We'll see. Don't know what the keys are. Press any key to start. Great, okay. Player 1. Yeah, this is what I mean. I don't... It split the screen. It's split the... oh dear. It splits the display. I don't know how to control this. Dear God. Yeah, that did not work. Yeah. But you see what I mean. It spreads 40 characters across 80 characters by splitting the display in half. Tell me what the bloody controls are, you... It's not... Okay, just press everything and hope for the best. That didn't... Because we're not going to get to find out at this rate, because it's just going to die too quickly. But anyway, there is a point to this, in that there is a program on this Tapuino. It was downloaded in a pack of files that I found on Tinterwebs, called 4280 or something like that, and we'll load that up. It sort of sits in between the display and the software sort of thing. Basically converts an 80 character display into a 40 character display and lets you run things like this, so bear with me. Okay, I've just loaded 80 to 40. We'll run, and well, okay, that's interesting. There, it did it. Now this is funky. Whenever I run this, it does a weird thing that I don't know if you're going to see. It is kind of an unstable display. It's shaky. The whole screen is kind of just shaking. It's weird. I like it. It's very retro. It's just like, well, obviously it's an old cathode ray tube, and it's using some weird effect that just creates this shaking thing, but the feeling is that it's knackered, but it's not. It's just, I think it's just the way it works, but I like it. It is so retro. Now let's load up. Let's find the game I'm looking for. I want to load up that Space Invaders that we just tried and see how it looks now. Here we go. So this will be the one we tried a minute or three ago. And we'll see, yeah, okay, loading. Can you see it shaking? That is just so... It kind of messes with your eyes. It looks like the whole computer's shaking. Okay, here we go then. Yeah, it does that weird stuff again. Connect, blah, blah, blah. Don't need that. Play. Space Invaders. That looks better already. I wonder if it'll... There's a very high-pitched whistle coming from this. I don't know if you can hear it. Oh, that's more like it. That's a lot more like it. I want to watch this intro thing and see if it's going to tell us what keys to use. It might. It's cool though. I mean, the graphics on it are not completely dissimilar to ZX81 graphics in that they are just great big blocks. Certainly nothing high resolution going on here. But I like the way well, I like that there's an intro sequence at all. Given what it's running on. Keyboard commands. This is what we didn't see before. 4 to move left, 6 to move right. 4, 6 and A. God, that is not very okay, we'll do it anyway. Not intuitive, and they're not doing anything unless it's no. Okay, no, they're it's not responding to those at all. Do we have any controls that work? I'm just gonna okay. Okay, so I've got what I can go right and I can fire. I don't know how to go left. P. Okay, so it's P and insert and delete and tab. Cool. Not at all what it told us. But we are it is a different keyboard layout to the standard PET keyboard, so that will account for that. Whoops. You see, I'm liking this. We're going to run out of lives and stuff before I get very far. Dig the sounds. It plays better than that other one because this you're not having to be quite so precise. It's got better collision detection in that it actually detects the collisions words. Yeah. This is proper retro gaming. It doesn't get much more retro than this. Anyone says they're a retro gamer and you say, so what do you play? Then they're like PS1, PS2, N64. I'm like, no, if you haven't played Space Invaders on a Commodore PET, arse. Game over, man. There we go, that will do. So, Tapuino thingy on Commodore PET. It wasn't designed to run on it, but just the fact that it runs on the VIC-20 and the Commodore 64 made me think, we'll have a go at that. And hallelujah or something. I'm chuffed. I've got quite a few, I've got a shed load of games actually that, what was I was converting them or doing something. Yes, I was converting them, so they're not actually on the Tapuino yet. I've got a few, I've got maybe a dozen or so on here. But expect videos in the coming days, weeks and months or something. Yeah, okay, thank you for watching.
Yes, Your Majesty, it would be... What the bloody hell? Okay, which smart-ass rigged the subscribe button to the teleporter?